Hello and welcome to part 1 of a part 2 series on programming. In this video, I will be covering the computer part of programming, which includes graphical robotc and robotc. This is graphical robotc. I will start by creating a new file. First, you have to head to motor and sensor setup right here. Mine's already been filled in. So, motor 1 is left motor. It is a VexIQ motor right there. You have to change it from no motor to VexIQ motor. And motor 6 is the right motor. Those are the recommended ports. It's also a VexIQ motor. And one of them is going to be reversed and one isn't. So you can play around with that and test which one is and which one isn't. Also, you have to make sure drive motor side is left and right for left and right respectively. Arm motor and claw motor are next on motors 10 and 11. They're also VexIQ motors. And they may or may not have to be reversed. You're going to have to experiment with that too. And they're not drive motor side, so you don't have to do that. Click apply and OK. Now, to move forward, drag in the forward block onto the big screen. So this is a little bit complicated. The first section is degrees. You can set it to 500 because degrees require a relatively large amount. Rotations is a lot lower, such as 1 or 2 rotations. Milliseconds are very fast, which means they'll probably be in at least the thousands, maybe even that too. Next is seconds. Seconds are pretty obvious what seconds are. 10 seconds. And minutes. 2 minutes if you want to go for 1 minute, or however many minutes, an hour. Yeah, I meant to put 500. And I normally go with degrees because that's my preferred one. And this is the power. So 75 is my preferred power. You can also put it up to 100 because the power only affects the speed at which the motors move. It doesn't affect how far it moves, it just affects how fast it moves to there. Now, turn left is another command. I normally use rotations for turning because one rotation is 360 degrees, that. So, if you want to turn just 90 degrees, it will be 0.25 and 75 power. And then now it will go forward and turn left. So, next I want to add a backward command. So I'm again going to move it 500 degrees, obviously, and 75. Oops, 75. And now turn right command. Again, 0.25 rotations. I could have also put negative 0.25. That would have also turned it left. Or 0.75. But 0.25. Now, it goes forward, turns left, goes backward, turns right. But what about other motors? Grab a move motor. And which motor is it? It is, let's just say, motor 10 or arm motor. Degrees, 300 degrees, and 75 power. The arm motor will move 300 power. Now claw motor, 300 degrees. It might be a little bit too much. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's too much. I need to change that to, I don't know, 50. Okay. And that is how graphical C works. There are more complicated things, but this is pretty much a simple thing. Some other things are like the repeat forever command. I can repeat going forward 500 degrees forever. Or other, trash can. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much how graphical C works. And this is the regular robotc. So, start by going up. As you can see, it's source file now. And we don't have blocks, but we can type, like hi. So I go to motor and sensor setup, left motor, basically the same thing as what I just showed you in graphical. Oops, motor, not motor. That's like you, right? Quad motor and arm motor, both XIQ motors, none apply, okay. And there's this giant generated code. It's automatically generated, so don't worry about that, don't do anything there. Okay, that is a repeat forever command. We will repeat forever, but we don't want that. Forward. We'll start with forward. Parentheses, 500 for the degrees, and then degrees, we have to specify which, and then 75, that's the power. And important thing is add a semicolon. That makes sure that the line is done, carried out. And okay, and if you're watching this video right now, parentheses, don't add a semicolon, then you're awesome. Don't add a semicolon at the front, but add a semicolon at the back, because it will stop the if command, so it can't run the other command after it. Move motor, let's just say move motor, arm motor, 500 degrees, I forgot, oops, degrees, 75, and then I decided to go forwards, and then I kind of spanned a little, and then backward, 50, 500 degrees, 75, and that is robotc, regular robotc. It is pretty much just graphical C, but you're typing them out, and all the things in red are just the graphical blocks that are typed in and filled in with your own specifications. So just now I was showing you an auto program that ran when you ran in auto programs, and it did everything automatically and just once. That's not really useful in most of them cases. So what if you want something that always happens indefinitely while you're driving? Well, this is my code that I use. It is int xjoy, yjoy, int left m, right m. This creates these 4 variables which will come in handy. Task main repeat forever, same thing, everything in here repeats forever. Yjoy equals get joystick value CHC. If you look on your controller, CHC is the right joystick and it turns left and right. So that's CHC and that's Yjoy. And Xjoy is get joystick value CHA. CHA is forward and backward on the left one. So we have forward and backward on the left joystick and left and right on the right joystick. If Yjoy is greater than negative 60 and Yjoy is less than 60, then Yjoy equals 0. This is to prevent drifting where the joystick is a tiny bit off place, but the robot senses that the joystick's not at 0 and begins slightly drifting forward or slightly drifting backward or left or right, depending on where the joystick is off. So this is to prevent that. You can also lower the values. This is a little bit excessive, but my robot was really drifting, so I set this as code. Xjoy is the same thing as Yjoy. Left m equals Yjoy plus Xjoy, and right m is negative Yjoy plus Xjoy. The reason why we have a negative here is because if, let's just say the motor spins clockwise, if one motor spins clockwise and the other spins clockwise on the other side, then the robot, when you try to move it forward, it will just turn around and turn around forever if you try to move it forward. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if you set them both to Yjoy, then you will notice it turning one direction or another. So if you put a negative Xjoy, then they will be spinning in different directions, which will allow the robot to be able to move forward instead of turning when you want it to move forward. And set motor speed, left motor, left M. Set motor speed, right motor, right M. Otherwise, these would have no effect if they weren't applied to the actual motors. And you can ignore this because this was my other code for my own robot. So yeah, this is how to make your robot work. And yep, I haven't put in these in the motor and sensor setup, so just ignore that. Everything else works. So you can compile it, and I'll show you how to run it in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new about coding and the different types of coding, and I hope this split arcade tutorial, that's what the drive mode is called, will help you and your robot to do a lot better in your competitions. Until next time, stay tuned.